firstly, I would like you to introduce yourself for our learners.
Sure. My name is Arnab Chaudhary, and I currently serve as the head of transformation in a company called CREA Next Private Limited. Uh, I have three portfolios under me. One of them is technology for operations, where there's a lot of AI-enabled efficiencies that we try to build into the MLOps environment, along with other uh, technological advancements that we can bring in to improve productivity and to generally come up with client value adds based on the automation, right? That's portfolio number one. Portfolio number two is reporting and analytics. I have a team of professionals who work in uh, MIS reporting and analytics. So that includes dashboarding, it includes statistical storytelling, and it includes generation of actionable insights for our operations leaders, right? And the third one is growth and pre-sales, where I kind of work with any new project that comes in. I prove it out and then transition it to operations. And along with that, there are insights based on such uh, proof of concepts, which we then circulate back with the client, with the internal as well as external clients. And basis that, operational levers are tweaked, processes are formed, etc. So yeah, that's roughly about it. And I have been working for the past about 21 years now, a little over 21 years. And I've had a diverse experience in the AI/ML industry. I've been associated with this industry since 2012 in various capacities. So yeah, that's roughly about it. This is home, and it feels comfortable here.
Okay. So, where are you from?
I'm originally from Kolkata,
Oh,
born, brought up there, but then I've traveled around the globe, and right now I'm in Bangalore.
okay. So, when you say that you have been working like 21 years, so you always think that did you always had this perspective in your mind when you started that you will work in data science, AI, ML? But because I'm pretty sure
To be
when
very
you
honest,
started,
back then,
it was
2004,
not there. Correct.
2005, we were not even thinking about that. It kind of evolved, started with traditional BPOs, then it slowly evolved into robotic process automation. No, not even that. Before that, it was data digitization.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it started with a lot of government organizations coming to organizations like TCS and others, saying that we have a lot of paper, we need to become paperless.
Mm.
From there, moving into robotic process automation, from there to intelligent process automation, to finally AI, ML, and related stuff into the agentic AI. So,
Okay. So I would really like to know the journey that you have, if you could give me a glimpse of the journey that, okay, you did your graduation in something and then what was the time or what triggered you to get into this, what triggered you to get into this sector?
wow, okay, that's a long story. By the way, I'll try to keep it as short as possible.
Okay.
See, I started off my graduation with, I did my bachelor's in computer application.
Okay.
This was way back in 2004-5, right?
Okay.
Post that, I mean, I started working along with it. So I was working in a BPO. From there, I moved to. So my first exposure to technology per se was Dell. Was still a BPO, but we were kind of working in technical support for uh, the various Dell customers, where
Okay.
I got to learn about the hardware of any Dell laptop and desktop, and
Mm.
that kind of attracted me to the technology side of it.
Okay.
And I was one of the first eight folks from Dell to get trained in something back then was called Windows Vista.
Oh, okay.
It's Microsoft program, but we were one of the first people who were trained on that operating system. So that kind of also blew my mind. It was very unique as an experience. So anyway, beyond that, I had to complete my MBA. So I went to Singapore, did my MBA from the University of Wales. But then I wanted to give back. I did not want to stay abroad. I always wanted to work in India. So I came back, started working for a completely different sector. I started working for loyalty marketing.
Ah, okay,
Uh, yeah, but then loyalty marketing, what attracted me over there was the statistics and the customer behavior analytics of it.
okay.
Right. So I was, even in different sectors, I was always, kind of very close to data and numbers and technology. So from there, I moved into erstwhile CMC, now TCS.
Okay.
Right. That was my first ever exposure to the actual technology world,
Hmm.
where I said data digitization, right? So that's where I started from there. We used to create solutions. So I was working as a solutions architect for such data digitization solutions, and we used to partner with a lot of um, OEM manufacturers for such solutions, and then we used to combine that, create better solutions, provide the client, etc. That is where I started getting introduced to robotic process automation and intelligent process automation. People like Work Fusion, people like Blue Prism, and all of that. That started coming up, right? And it kept attracting me. Post which I moved to iMerit. It was a startup. Back then, iMerit was about what, three, 400 people strong, and that is where I got the real feel of AI. And the power of it, what it can do. And back then it was all basic stuff, right? So it was computer vision, it was bounding boxes, and semantic segmentation was just coming up. And beyond that, for so conversational AI was not even there.
Hmm.
It was still a concept. And then creating training data for such AIML models. One thing that always used to fascinate me was, see, iMerit had a very unique model.
Okay.
Um, Back then, more than 80% of iMerit's employees, full-time employees, were from below the poverty line,
Oh.
right? So, but having said that, they used to work in projects as complex as identifying cancer cells among other uh, healthy cells in the body uh, by the use of semantic segmentation, key point annotation. And the fact that these guys could be trained to do something like this
Hmm.
was very unique, and that kind of so that's where the first time I thought that you don't really need to be a coder to work in AI,
Correct.
right?
Hmm.
You don't need to. There are several ways that you can contribute to the AI/ML space today. That does not necessarily mean that you have to be a full stack engineer or a front end developer, etc. You don't need all of that. You don't need to be a hardcore ML engineer and stuff, right? You just need to know your basics, and you also need to uh, be trainable,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And with the right amount of training, anybody can do anything.
Hmm.
That's something that I observed firsthand in iMerit, and post which I stayed in iMerit for quite some time. I was there for about 7 years ish.
Okay.
And then I moved to Cognizant for about a year and a half, where I learned the other side. I learned how you can tweak certain hyperparameters to reduce the dependency of the model on the data. Uh, uh, and from there, I again moved to Ahmedabad. I was working for a company called Shape, where I got exposed to the whole crowdsourcing and vendor management piece of the pie.
Hmm.
And today I'm working for CREA, where I'm I see. I've been in data operations all my life, and
Hmm.
I'm my next logical step is what I've taken right now. Now I'm into transformation, and I'm trying to kind of stitch technology to your traditional data operations. I'm trying to ensure that we build something that works, as in build something that works in the sense I'm not trying to build AI. I'm trying to use AI to build something which works for other people, right? So that's where the AI industry is also going. You
Hmm.
know,
Correct.
previously, the rage was how you can build a model,
Right.
but right now, does your model do anything? Is a question that everybody is asking. So that's something that we're all trying to answer.
We all know that conversational AI is evolving into agentic AI that can take actions and not just chat, right?
Yeah.
So, with when you are working in conversational AI, how do you see that this no code, low code agentic platforms do they empower the non technical professionals more?
Yes, that is absolutely right. Now no code, low code has kind of become the buzzword because of agentic AI. But I've been handling no code, low code platforms in terms of tasking platforms since about say 2020, 2021ish,
Okay.
right? Where very simple platforms using drag drop techniques, using you know uh, conversational logic to create basic workflows, complex workflows, create operational layers of, say, for example, maker, checker, maker, editor, etc. Right now, what I learned was see, low code, no code platforms will definitely transform how non technical professionals build and deploy their agents. Ultimately, like I said, agents today basically mean that we are creating models that can execute real world tasks. It's as
Hmm.
simple as that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So now these platforms will basically empower domain experts. Now, what used to happen previously was domain experts used to provide their domain knowledge, and then the technological experts used to kind of create something, and then there was a lot of back and forth
Hmm. Hmm.
between the domain expert trying to explain how they want to visualize the user's interface and how the technology experts were trying to fit that into their architecture,
Hmm.
right? Um, Now you don't really need that. See, while I say now you don't need it, it'll still take about say 3 to 5 years for this to truly transform into what we are hoping it will. But uh, in that futuristic state, you can actually merge the domain expertise and technological expertise into one person.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Now, workflows like appointment scheduling and insurance processing
Hmm.
and staff allocation, all of that can be actually automated without writing code.
Oh, okay.
What will happen is does this mean that the coders will go away? No,
Of course not.
they are the ones who will kind of start taking up more advanced tasks in terms of analytics and in terms of reducing timelines, in terms
Hmm.
of better building the workflows that the agentic AI models are building. So people will keep moving up the ladder, like we use to like we move from the typewriter to the desktop to the
Hmm.
laptop. Right? Roles changed. That's exactly what will happen here. And one thing for sure is everybody talks about human in the loop, right? Human in
Hmm.
the loop is a thing of the past. Right now, it is expert in the loop. You have to be a domain expert. You have to be. You have to discover your niche. That's
Hmm. Hmm.
key, right? Only then will you be able to truly use these AI agents and solve real world problems.
Hmm.
So that's how it is gonna transform uh, the industry, and that's how the non-technological professionals can actually use these. See, there are several examples that I can talk about. I can talk about maybe you know. Um, like I said previously, uh, building such agents, we could not even imagine building such agents without full stack AIML
Hmm.
teams, engineers, data scientists, and so on. Now, more basic workflows, like I said, people can create without any IT involvement per se. And then, of course, real time autonomous decision making in operations is a very, very big thing. There is a lot of manual effort, cognitive load on the ops manager per se.
Right.
Now, the ops manager can actually have an assistant without really hiring one.
Right.
That's how it is. That's the deal.
So vibe coding is transforming any functional teams who were previously not at par with the technology. But now, what vibe coding is enabling is, with your expertise, how do you envision this change in in terms of enabling the functional people interacting with technology? How do you envision that operations manager, business analyst, or maybe the uh, HR or marketing? How do you think they can take leverage of this AI evolve?
See, that's a very, very valid question given today's day and age. Vibe coding is, we see, we all know what vibe coding is, right? Where the basic non-technical user expresses their own intentions in natural language, and then you have some model translating it
Hmm.
into executable actions, right? Now, see, okay, let me take the example of healthcare, right?
Okay.
There are clinical teams like your doctors, your nurses, your care coordinators, etc. Right? What do they do? They actually perform the tasks manually. The nurse walks in, checks temperature, logs something manually, sees whether medicine has been given or not. The care coordinators come, check whether the sheets have been changed or not, whether the person has taken a bath or not. Doctors come in and kind of supervise all of this. Uh, Diagnoses, treats. Think of it this way. What if a clinician would say that find all, and I'm talking about a large hospital, and what if I say that flag all, I don't know, diabetic patients which who have HbA1c greater than 9 and have missed appointments in the last 30 days or 60 days, whatever, right? And immediately you get a dashboard and an outreach list where you can simply now pick up the phone and start calling them. Which one is more important, calling the people or actually sitting on an Excel sheet for hours figuring out who those people are?
Right.
That's the difference. Or say, for example, in e-commerce, your ops managers, what do? They now, so one of the most irritating things in today's operations is that all your ops managers sit on sheets,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Their whole
Right.
life revolves around sheets. Now think of it this way. You being an ops leader, you say, can I get a weekly report of SKUs with greater than 20% return rate, or negative reviews for any e-commerce product?
Hmm.
If you get that report, the more important thing is actually actioning on it.
Hmm.
But you spend 4 hours making that report,
Correct.
right? That is the shift that will happen. When I told you that, uh, so this is how your assistant works, right? Your assistant does the work for you, the preliminary work, or for the lack of a better word, the grunt work for you,
Hmm.
and you then focus on the really important stuff.
The actionable points.
That's how you enhance yourself, and that's how you enhance the processes.
Right.
So now what you can do is you can actually simply take a look at the report and decide on what action to take,
Hmm.
and work on the action, work on solving the real problem. The real problem was never getting the report,
Right.
right? So, but like I said, um, it'll not happen tomorrow.
Hmm. Hmm.
We are already seeing early signs of this happening, but See, to be very honest, for it to truly scale and become mainstream per se, it'll take at least another, say, 3 to 5 years.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
uh, I can probably think of a breakdown where I might say that for the next, say, year and a half, the innovators will start using them,
Hmm.
which has already started, like your GPTs and your co-pilots, right?
Hmm.
Um, for generating reports, summarizing data, or even building basic workflows.
Hmm.
The next 2 to 3 years will be more domain specific, where your uh, slightly more complex real world stuff, like I was talking about healthcare, right? So maybe your EHRs or EMRs, electronic health reports, or electronic medical records, etc. They will start getting involved in such vibe coding, right?
Hmm.
Then, say about five by the fifth year, your reasoning and chain of thoughts and context understanding and governance, etc., will be safe enough
Hmm.
for us to truly rely on the AI.
On that, right?
Or else, to be very honest, if we do not have guardrails, then we might have a Skynet issue. If
Correct.
you've seen Terminator, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
We don't want Skynet to get active.
Hmm.
For that, I think we still are at a nascent stage. We still have to evolve to start believing that whatever we are doing with the AI is actually producing expected results.
Hmm. Correct. Correct.
So, yeah. But we are already on the path, and I think that's how it'll transform in the coming years.
So when taking your reference of Skynet, right? So from your strategic leadership, what would you tell that healthcare e-commerce leaders who are still treating AI as just another tool rather than autonomous operational partners? What would you advise them?
That- That's a very interesting question. See, if you're just using AI as another tool, then it's time you change. I mean, you're already behind the eight ball, right? We've now reached an era which we call AI first,
Hmm.
right? Where your agentic AI is not just any other tool per se. It helps you decide,
Correct.
or it truly helps you function better, right? So I'll again take the example of healthcare. See, healthcare today is very critical. It's mission critical, right? And a single error is fatal.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's why I keep taking healthcare examples where, see, I don't want leaders to rely on AI to just flag abnormal lab results. Now imagine this. Say an AI agent monitors ICU vitals in real time and then predicts early signs of any disease. Say for example, sepsis, for
Hmm.
that matter,
Hmm.
right? Then sends out a flag to the care team.
Hmm.
It also drafts the initial clinical note for the doctors and caregivers to um, refer to,
Hmm.
right? Even before the doctor is actually paged. Think of it this way. And when I say think of it, trust me, Stanford and Mayo are already moving in that direction. They've already started doing something like this,
Hmm.
right? So treating AI as just a tool, sorry, that does not work anymore. Or say, for example, in e-commerce, while I use e-commerce as an example because it again directly impacts end users, right? Um, so say I go to Amazon and I tell them that I will build you an agent which will kind of uh, search competitor websites and kind of build you a pricing strategy and help you automatically adjust your product pricing, launch promotions based on competitor activity, etc. And that kind of leads into your optimization of daily ad spends or weekly ad spends, etc.
Hmm.
All this without human input,
Okay.
right? So your entire marketing team can just be optimized. And these are not just dashboards, okay? These are not dashboards for people to see. These are actually autonomous systems which will look at the dashboard themselves, summarize, and actually provide actionable insights. Right? So that's the shift. The question is never how my team can use AI. The question is how I can structure my operations
Hmm.
around AI agents as teammates.
Hmm.
Right? AI, like I said, is no longer a tool. It is your assistant. It is like a human being that requires a little more supervision than a normal human being does.
So now, as when you said that it should be treated as a team member, so there's a huge division between AI assisted and AI augmented professional, right?
Correct.
And it's growing exponentially day by day. So, with your experience across LLM, intelligent automation, RPA, computer vision, so what specific technical or strategic skills should professionals develop to become the innovators in an agentic AI driven workspace? Because this is something, this fear is something we have experienced within, we have actually seen in our learners, that how do, which technical skills should they adapt to keep at par with the race that is happening right now?
Okay, let me ask you this question first, Benjamin. Uh, your background, is it technical?
Uh, Not per se with data science. I'm an electrical engineer, but I've never worked in my core engineering.
Fantastic. So, what's the first thing you learned in order to vibe code?
The first thing I learned in order to write code, I
Forget
think,
vibe code.
hmm,
Forget vibe code. Before that,
hmm.
wha- your first interaction with such agents would have been what? ChatGPT?
Yes, of course.
What is the first thing you learned in order to use ChatGPT?
The first thing I've learned, I think my boss, or I mean, my reporting manager, she asked me to, I think, develop or draft some email, and I was like, okay, let's go. When I initially just gave it the reference and everything, and asked her to draft. So my first encounter was like, it gave me a very generic outcome, right? That is when my manager said, no, this is something you have to learn, that when you have a conversation with ChatGPT or any LLM for that way, you need to first train it. You can't expect it to know everything for your expectation. You
Okay.
need to train it. And when she when she said train it, it meant like you have to set the expectations. Say, see, this is what I want. You have
Yes.
to give the context. Then, if you have any exemplar, I didn't know what exemplar before was. Now I know. So before she said examples, now I know the terminology. So then she said, if you have any examples, give it the example, and then you tell GPT that whom are you writing for and who is writing it. So then you will get it, and then you keep refining it. And that was my first encounter, and that is when I got interested in vibe coding, and I started using it.
Fantastic. You kind of answered my question. What you just said,
Okay.
there is a term that describes this. Do you know what?
Mm, no.
It's called prompt engineering,
Okay. Yeah. From the engineering. Okay. Yes.
right? So that's the first thing that people should learn.
Okay.
See, you don't know coding, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Or forget coding. You're meeting someone for the first time and you want some specific information out of that person.
Hmm. Hmm.
You must have a thought process or some opening which will lead you to that expected information.
Hmm.
How do you do it? You kind of frame your sentences in your mind.
Right.
You try to analyze what the other person is going to react to,
Hmm.
and you frame the sentences accordingly, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then you put it forward while you get the expected result.
Hmm.
And then, basis the answer, you tweak your thought process, and then you
Right.
uh, rephrase or reiterate your question while you get the answer. That
Hmm.
is what prompt engineering is. That's all
Right.
someone essentially needs to know. In today's data net, ChatGPT, I can, share my screen and I can show you that I have hundreds of GPTs where, and GPTs as, uh, I don't know, as simple and as stupid as, hey, I think I'm getting a fever. I have a temperature of 100.
Hmm.
Uh, can you help me understand what this is? And do you really think I should start taking medicine?
Hmm.
I kind of have a conversation with GPT like I would have with my wife or family members or whatever. My 8 to 10 hours of my life revolves around GPT.
Hmm.
Uh, but does that mean GPT is right? Always?
Not always.
It does not.
Hmm.
Hence, you need to also know when to risk reason.
Hmm.
So that basically means when to trust your agents versus uh, when to know that they'll fail.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So bias detection and feedback looping and uh, so think of it this way: someone has a child,
Hmm.
and that child needs to be educated for the real world.
Hmm.
Right? What do? We set expect. Say for example, I want my child to eat breakfast.
Correct.
I'll first prompt engineer and tell my child that it is already so and so o'clock in the morning. You're hungry. You need to have breakfast. That's the plate. That's the spoon. That's
Hmm.
the food. Use it.
Hmm.
Does your child do it right the first time? No.
No.
What do? You go back and provide feedback that that's
Hmm.
not right. This is how you should do it.
Hmm.
Does your child do it right the second time? No.
Hmm.
Then you target, right? You hold the spoon this way, or your food goes in the mouth, not the nose,
Hmm.
whatever, right? So uh, that is the loop. And as and when you keep going forward, your child will say that, oh, I understood everything. Do you
Hmm.
leave it at that?
No. We
You
still have to.
stand and actually see that what the understanding is and what the action is, they kind of align.
Hmm.
Right? That is what risk assessment is. That is what bias detection is. Right?
Right.
And that's what you do. That's what you do with your child. That's what you do with your uh, AI models. That's exactly. So you have to treat your AI models like your children.
Hmm. Hmm.
If you want your children to flourish, you need to train them enough and train them in enough frequencies
Hmm.
and learn when to trust, when to not trust.
Right.
Right? So these are a few of the things that you kind of need to know. And yeah, of course, I mean, if I say technically you need to know multimodal data fluency, that's like a very big term. But what it means basically is text, image, video, audio. These are four input types,
Hmm.
right? Outside this, nothing can happen.
Okay.
You need to know how to build your agents that will react to a text versus an image versus a video versus an audio. So
Okay.
process, align, manipulate. That's it, right?
Okay.
And then your frameworks. So your
Hmm.
language chains, language graphs, auto generation, so multi-agent collaborations. And there's a term floating around the market called RAG, retrieval augmented generation,
Correct. Hmm.
right? That's nothing. That's just saying take help. So your child does not do well in school, you get tuitions,
Tuitions. Right.
right? That's what RAG is.
Hmm.
It generates on its own and it also uses other sources to verify what it is generating, right? And then supervision and finally integration into your legacy systems. These are
Hmm.
the things that you need to know. That's roughly about it.
Now, any AI, like let's say healthcare AI or operational AI, they are eventually becoming autonomous decision makers, right? Now, how should any organization, any healthcare organization, of course, all organization has operations. They restructure their technological operations and government governance framework to utilize AI agents that can independently analyze, decide, and execute critical business processes.
Yes, that is right. So it's more of an upgrade than a
Okay.
restructure, right?
Hmm.
We used the example of moving up from typewriters to computers at a point of time during our conversation, right? So,
Hmm.
see, we are entering a world where AI isn't just crunching numbers or whatever. It's starting to make decisions, starting to
Hmm.
take actions, and even run non-complex pieces of our operations without waiting for instructions. Now, with power comes great responsibility, is what we heard Uncle Ben say, right? That is what we need to do. We need to ensure that our tech and governance teams are equipped for that task.
Hmm.
For tech, uh, flexible systems. So I mean, plug and play systems. So your APIs integrations need to be very, very dynamic and flexible, right?
Okay.
Small services where any one service goes wrong, you just fix that part.
Okay.
Entire system does not need to falter.
Hmm.
Number two is workflow tools or tasking platforms where your AI agents can control tasks
Hmm.
uh, say like virtual operations manager per se,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And then you have to have a team which manages these agents,
Okay.
right? And real time monitoring. You cannot at any point of time run behind the eight ball. You always have to be at par with it. So you can detect issues, you can detect potential issues, adapt and fix,
Hmm.
right? And as far as your governance team is concerned, rules are out the window. Now we call them guardrails,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Everything needs to be traceable and explainable. So your chain of thought reasoning with decision logging,
Hmm.
right? And your policies need to be coded in such a way that it can get enforced automatically. It does not. So there cannot be any ambiguity in policies. So your policy has to be never approve a claim which is beyond, say, 10 lakhs or 5 lakhs without human review.
Oh, okay.
That's how your policy should be. You
Hmm.
cannot say that um, never approve a claim of over 5 lakhs without human review. There could be some exceptions as well. That is a harakiri.
Okay.
That cannot happen, right? Now, obviously, test scenarios have to be run, and all sorts of scenarios need to be covered. It's not just the. So basically, you have to ensure that you know how your edge cases might function and how your AI will behave in those edge cases,
Hmm.
like fire drills. And that has to be consistent, right? It has to be, say, maybe once a week, once a month, once a quarter, something like that. Yeah. And then, of course, you have to have a board of legal ethics and responsible subject experts.
Hmm.
Call it a, how to put it, AI safety board, maybe for that matter,
Okay.
right? That will regularly review how these agents are behaving and weed out potential issues.
Hmm.
So I keep saying this, uh, contrary to the popular belief, humans will never be replaced. Humans can never be replaced. They'll just be repositioned like
Hmm.
they've been doing these past few decades, right?
Hmm.
It's just freeing them up from grunt work.
Hmm.
That they can focus on matters that actually make sense, are important, like strategies, judgments,
Hmm.
or even mentoring and helping AIs that get stuck, right?
Right.
So let the AI make the report and give you actionable insights. You take the action.
Hmm.
That's how it'll be. That is how humans will slowly start moving,
Hmm.
right? So yeah, that's what I think.
Those who are adapting themselves with agentic AI vibe coding will definitely dominate the landscape for the at least next till the time it's completely adaptable, right? Now, you have been in a leadership position from a long time now, and you have seen multiple evolution across domains, right? So, what's your prediction on for how roles in technological operations will evolve? And second question to that is, what would be your advice to those who are still not uh, in that race yet? What would be your advice to them? So there are two questions. So there are two parts of the question.
Okay. So, see, here is what I have to say. Technology operations roles are shifting from system management to, let's call it, orchestration of autonomous agents,
Hmm.
right? That is what we are moving to. In tomorrow's world, you will not just maintain infrastructure or write code.
Hmm.
You will design workflows where AI agents do the reasoning and planning and you do the acting.
Hmm.
Let's think of roles like AI operations strategist or human AI collaboration designer or agentic system architect or something like
Hmm.
that. These will start becoming more mainstream.
Right.
Silos will disappear.
Okay.
DevOps working separately, IT, service management working separately, data engineering working separately will never happen. It'll all evolve into a continuous loop,
Hmm.
continuous intelligent loop where humans will supervise these agent ecosystems and then make real time decisions. Right? Now, like I said earlier, prompt engineering and agent design patterns very, very mandatory.
Hmm.
Or how to chain together AI reasoning, how to integrate APIs, how to take real world actions, what are the basics of LLMs, what is RAG, how RAG works actually, and these multi agent frameworks like your language chains and
Hmm.
true AI and all of that. Yeah. And one thing I keep telling my people also, they kind of forget it, and I need to keep reminding them. See, nobody's perfect,
Hmm.
so there's no point waiting for perfection.
Correct.
Prototypes need to constantly be built, put into action, and then feedback and feedback and feedback and feedback.
Hmm.
Right? You cannot wait for building the perfect AI model. That is a myth. That can
Right.
never happen.
Hmm.
Right? So see, here's what's coming. Okay. Tech roles are moving from KTLOs, so keep the lights on, to um, how do I put it? Training and managing AI agents
Hmm.
that do your work for you.
Hmm.
So you don't need to do the work anymore. You just need to ensure that someone else does it for you,
Correct.
right? Like your mini team members who never sleep,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So just start building them is what I'll say. You know, start small,
Hmm.
but start at some point because to be very honest, see, AI won't replace you, but someone using AI might,
Will. Hmm.
right? And that's kind of my parting word because that's the end of it. Because see, 50% of something is better than 0% of everything,
Right. Correct.
right?
Hmm.
So unless you try, you don't know whether you will succeed or not.
Hmm.
And that's where people falter. People keep uh, um, conservatism is a thing. Yes, I agree. But conservatism to the point of procrastination is disastrous.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what my take is on this.
No, I think I love the word when you said that AI will not replace it, but someone with AI might. Someone who has adapted to AI might.
Trust
And
me, that is exactly what's happening. Our customers see in our proposals, we have to build in AI enabled efficiencies in all of the proposals that are. So our customers don't. They are no longer wowed by the use of AI.
hmm.
They are rather disappointed, or that's the judging parameter that whether you are truly using AI to its fullest potential or not.
So it has become an
Mantra is
unexpected expectation. I mean, like it has become an
no, it is
unexpected
no
question.
longer unsaid.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
what I'm trying to tell you. It is no longer unsaid. It is the expectation. Period.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? The mantra is do more with less
Hmm.
for more.
Correct.
Right? That's the mantra.